Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into how you can build up your speaking confidence by turning totally normal, everyday interactions into your own personal practice gym. It really is all about getting your reps in, just without all that pressure we usually feel. So, let's get into it. So, you might be wondering, how do you actually do this? How can you practice speaking and really build that fluency in a way that feels safe, that feels manageable, and most importantly, actually works? Well, that's the big question we're going to answer today with a pretty awesome structured approach. The entire strategy we're going to walk through is built on one really simple but incredibly powerful idea. It's called procedural inquiry, and trust me, it can be a total game changer for low-stakes practice. So what is it exactly? Well, procedural inquiry is just what it sounds like. It's the simple act of asking how something works. See, you're not sharing an opinion, you're not trying to tell a big story, you're just asking for information about a process. That's it. And here is the real magic of this technique. By asking how, you totally shift the burden of the conversation. Suddenly, the other person becomes the expert, and they're the ones doing most of the talking, doing all the heavy lifting. This gives you that crucial space to just breathe, focus, and manage your own speech without feeling rushed. But okay, before we even think about making a call or talking to someone, there is one absolutely crucial first step. Just like a runner stretches their muscles, we need to warm up our voice. And seriously, it could not be any simpler. All you need is just a few seconds of gentle humming. Hmm, hmm, hmm. This little action creates a vibration in your vocal folds, which helps release that physical tension that so often leads to a block before you've even said a word. It is a tiny step with a huge impact. All right, warm-up is done. Let's get into our first repetition. We're going to start with something really quick and straightforward, just to get an easy win on the board and start building some momentum. So here's the task. Right from the comfort of your own home, you're going to find a small local shop, a pharmacy, a little boutique, whatever, and just call them up. All you're going to do is ask about how they take payments. 3 super clear, totally manageable steps. And the best part? You don't even have to worry about what to say. Here's the script. It's polite, it's direct, and it gives you a specific phrase to lock onto. Just, "Hi, I'm planning to stop by later. I was just calling to check if you accept Apple Pay." Simple as that. Now, the goal here is super simple. Just get through that one fixed term, like Apple Pay. And to help with that, focus on this little physical technique for the P sound. We call it light contact. It means you let your lips touch as lightly as possible, just barely brushing. This prevents pressure from building up and helps that word just flow right out. Perfect. With that first rep under our belt, let's move on to the next level. This second rep is going to introduce a slightly more open-ended question, letting us build on the confidence we just got from that first call. Okay, so this time your task is to call a place like a community college or maybe a local training center. You're going to be asking them about the process for signing up for a class, which you'll notice naturally invites a much more detailed answer from them. And again, we've got a script to guide you. You can ask something like this. "Hello, could you tell me what the prerequisites are to join? Also, is registration handled entirely online?" This two-part question is specifically designed to get them talking for a little bit longer, which gives you a great opportunity to practice your next technique. So, the goal for this rep is to handle a more dynamic, open-ended conversation. And while they're explaining the whole process to you, what's your job? Your job is to focus on your breathing. Specifically, we're talking diaphragmatic breathing to help you stay calm, centered, and ready for whatever you need to say next. And this is exactly what we're aiming for. On the left, you can see that shallow chest breathing. It's tense, it's not very supportive. But on the right, that's diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing. See how it engages the core? This creates a really steady, powerful column of air that supports smoother, much more stable speech. Okay, you've handled 2 phone calls. You're doing great. For our final rep, we're going to take this off the phone and into a real face-to-face interaction. This one is the deep dive. For this one, you're going to go to a store that has specialists. Think a bike shop or an outdoor gear store. Your task is to find an employee who really knows their stuff and ask them a detailed question about maintaining a complex piece of equipment. And your script is designed to get an expert talking. You're asking things like, what does the long-term maintenance look like? And what parts usually wear out first? This is a topic they are probably passionate about, and they can explain it to you in great detail. So your goal here is to successfully navigate this in-person, deep dive conversation. And since you're face-to-face, you can now bring in a really powerful physical tool, your gestures. The technique here is to use your hands in a smooth, flowing motion as you speak. It's amazing how this physical fluidity can actually encourage your speech to do the same, helping you move right through those potential blocks. So, we've gone through 3 reps, each one building on the last. What's the core philosophy here? What's the big idea that ties this all together? Let's break that down.
And honestly, this is the most important takeaway of all. The objective isn't to be perfect on the first try, or to never ever stutter or feel blocked. The real win, the real victory, is in consistently showing up and just getting the practice reps in. That is how real, lasting progress is made.
I want to leave you with this thought from Confucius, which just perfectly captures the spirit of this practice. Every call you make, every conversation you start, every single time you try, that is a rise. It's not about avoiding the fall, it's about having the courage to get back up and try again. That right there is where the glory is.